devastation caused by Eugene Harding, the world's first ever cyber serial killer. And in the wake of his recent trial and execution, it seems the world has a new nightmare to worry about. Law enforcement officials are warning everyone about another killer that has begun murdering victims in a similar manner to that of Harding, hacking into his victims' biochips and inducing cardiac arrest. Unlike Harding, however, this killer leaves a very unique calling card. When crime scene investigators analyzed the information from the victims' biochips, they found that this chilling sight is the last thing that all victims saw before their tragic deaths, leading some news organizations to dub this killer the Harlequin. The Harlequin has already claimed 14 lives, including Angela Marie Stevens, better known as Sister Therese. Detective George Harris is one of the agents working to bring this killer to justice. George, what can you tell us about this Harlequin?
Well, Gina, like you said, this Harlequin character started killing folks in the same manner as Harding, so we're working around the clock to assure that this murderer is caught and executed in a very timely fashion.
With a crime like this, and as the Harding murder showed us, it is very hard to gather evidence or identify witnesses. Do you have any leads in this case yet?
That's not something I can comment on at this time. I assure you that we're doing everything we can to catch this killer. As you mentioned, we've analyzed the biochips of all the recent victims, and in comparing them, we found that there are similarities, namely the last image that passed through the optic nerve. It's that footage of the clown.
Do you have a profile on the Harlequin yet, and have you been able to identify a particular demographic that might be at risk?
No, as far as we can tell, the victims don't seem to have anything in common. His victims have included a 95-year-old man, as well as 2 minor children and everything in between, so it's impossible for us to determine who might be a target.
With more than 90% of the nation's population now equipped with biochip implants, how can anyone protect themselves?
At this time, the most reliable way for people to protect themselves is to disconnect from the neural net altogether.
And if they can't disconnect from the net for some reason, they need to at least be careful about any mail they open or any sites that they might visit, correct?
Yes, that's true, but we still haven't determined a point of entry, so again, the best way to protect yourself is to completely disconnect. We're strongly advising that everyone disconnect for the time being, at least until this predator is identified and executed.
That's good advice. Thank you for joining us today, Detective Harris.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to Channel 237 News for the latest information about the Harlequin. In other news, the Farmers Union has petitioned the White House for an extension of subsidiary funds paid out to local producers. The